Hey guys, Brian St. Pierre here. I'm the Director of Performance Nutrition at PN. I have my Master's in Nutrition, my Bachelor's in Nutrition, registered dietitian. Did my Master's thesis on wheat, interestingly enough, or not so much. So these days I do a lot of work at PN, but my main focus in a lot of ways is actually helping you guys out in this Facebook group, answering questions, giving guidance, putting coaching tips and case studies and things of that nature. So that's pretty much my main gig these days. And this is Kate.
Hey guys, I'm gonna make sure that he answers some of the fun questions you answered because this was all like super professional and stuff. So, voice from behind the camera. So Brian, what's your favorite Vice food? Do you have one?
Well, it's probably more than one, but if I had to pick my absolute favorite, it would be Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Good choice.
Always been a weakness. Fortunately, Halloween comes, and my kids get a whole bunch, and I stash them away just for myself. They don't realize it.
Favorite movie?
The Usual Suspects, without a doubt.
What makes it your favorite movie?
Probably when I started really falling in love with movies. I've always been a big movie fan, but The Usual Suspects was the movie that probably really turned the corner for me. Just the way it was filmed, the acting in it, the surprise ending. It's been copied many times over, but it's like one of the original really surprise endings. When you watch it a second time, you get a whole different perspective on the movie, the whole different perspective on the plot, how it's run. It's a movie you can watch over and over again and pick up lots of different things.
I also heard you're a Star Wars fan. Is that true?
Huge. Oh yeah, I own every Star Wars movie. I've read dozens of Star Wars books. I get my kids into Star Wars. My son's a big Star Wars fan, so he's got Star Wars posters, and he's into the movies. He's got a Kylo Ren blanket.
Speaking of kids, how many are you up to now?
We're done at 3. I have 3 kids. My daughter is 6. My son is 3.5. He'll be 4 this summer. And my youngest son is 1.
So what would be one piece of advice that you'd have to coaches that also have kids? Like, how do you make this happen? You're here at the Facebook group fielding questions, and you're just super productive. How do you do it?
Well, you try to strike a balance, figure out what's important to you. Know that you want to do productive, good work. But at the same time, you also want to have a good family life, be a good role model, have fun with your kids, and your partner, whomever that might be. And I think that's a big piece of it, is wanting to make sure that you're enjoying all aspects, of your life as much as possible. There are always challenges, right? But I think it's important. I want my kids to have a healthy lifestyle, and I want to model a healthy lifestyle for them. But they also live in the real world, right, where they have grandparents and they have friends' houses they go to. Where they're going to be exposed to, foods that may not necessarily reside in my house, but I don't want them to be afraid of those things or to feel like they're so deprived of those things in our house that when they get to those places, they rebel. So a big focus for us is trying to just make sure we're very reasonable about it. We still try to encourage, fruits and vegetables at every meal, and lean proteins and quality carbs and things of that nature. But we also allow, we get ice cream once in a while, and we have dark chocolate, and we have, all kinds of little things here and there. Cake on their birthdays, and they go to friends' parties, and there's no even discussion about not having it, because it's just a part of growing up, right? It's a part of the process. So I think that's at least that's our overriding philosophy on the whole process.
So then speaking of that, as last question, do you have Facebook installed on your cell phone?
I do not have Facebook installed on my cell phone. So
and there you go, coaches.
Interestingly enough, right?
Productivity.
When I was, when it came up to take on this role and do this work, I didn't really use Facebook. I'm not a big social media, a consumer of social media. I don't do a lot of self-promotion on social media. But the way I viewed this work was, to pretty much interact with you guys, find another way to interact with fitness professionals, learn from you guys, teach you guys what I know, and have it be a nice interface in that regard. So the way I look at Facebook isn't like look at other people's feeds. I don't look at my own feed, right? I go into the certification group, and I'm just trying to interact with you guys, learn from you guys, teach what I know, and just have a good time. So
thanks,
Facebook's
Brian.
not on my phone.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.